Hey, I get so
Hey,
excited when I hear that our theme song. It makes me want to dance.
Yeah.
Happy Friday!
Happy
Yay!
Friday.
Happy
Happy Friday.
Friday!
Woo.
All right, all right. We just gonna jump right on in it. Senator Bullard,
yeah.
what did
Yes,
y'all
ma'am.
do? What did y'all do to DeSantis?
Listen, we got, sometimes he's a habitual line stepper. You understand what I'm saying? To quote
Hmm.
Dave Chappelle. And
Hey,
so,
everybody.
he keeps on stepping on lines, and this time he got caught, flat footed.
What
They got his bluff called, if you will.
what
Mm.
happened?
So, he out here saying we don't need masks in these schools. So
Mm-hmm.
he created an executive order. And so a judge basically threw out his
Remind
executive order
Mm-hmm.
uh, today saying that, yeah, what you said was garbage and
Garbage.
have several seats. And so,
Oh my goodness.
so
Amen to that.
now he out here just, with his hat in his hand, like, oh, poor me. And I'm just like, I'm smiling. It's a Good Friday. Not only did I get paid on this Good Friday, but
Still,
DeSantis got,
he got
punched
paid
in his
too.
gut, and I appreciate that. So,
Mhm.
Look, he
I'm
got
gonna
paid
take-
also.
Have.
I think it was more to it than that. I mean, I understand what we're talking about, and I think that's we applaud that. But I also do believe that he used that as a political ploy to because when it makes to the White House and they're having a conversation about it, I think it's part of his bigger plan.
of course.
Well, I think
Yeah, I
it
mean,
kind of
he likes to.
backfired.
He wants to stay relevant. He wants to stay on the media, but the reason I say it was a line stepping is he really hasn't been checked on any of the things he's done thus far.
Mm,
There's lawsuits
mm.
out there. There's
Got
things that are
nobody.
kind of floating out there that some of his other things may be struck down later on. But this is the first time that he's threatened somebody. A bunch of school districts said, come with it. You know what I'm saying? Bring your
Ain't
best.
no
And then
line
on top of
stepping.
that, the judge threw it out. So
Mhm.
it just looks stupid right now, and I'm
Yes.
loving it.
Me too.
I hate the fact that in a lot of what we see going on in the world with the mass, what's going on in Afghanistan, they tend to politicize everything. And I felt like,
Not everything.
yeah, everything.
Break
Like,
it
and it's
down.
worse, and it's worse than it's ever been.
Syllables.
Yes,
Yeah, and
syllables.
it's worse than it's ever been. And when we talk about this mass thing, they want to conflate the issue of it being right and wrong, and if it's a matter of being safe, or if you're for the kids. And for me, it was never even about any type of political issue whatsoever. It's just about trying to keep the kids safe and then the teacher safe. And I really found it maddening, from the sense that, okay, here we are, we're finally getting back into schools, right? Now every parent has now understood that, listen, my kids need to be in school, because I can't do the parenting and the teaching 24/7, 365, right? Right,
That
Dwight?
part.
Everybody
That
realizes
part.
that. But at the same time, you don't want a child to wear a mask to keep themselves safe and to keep their teacher and administrator safe. Like, man, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. So
Mhm.
which one is it? Are you gonna side with the political party? Are you gonna side with the political side of the issue? Or are you just gonna simply look at it from a practical standpoint and just say, listen, we need to make a concerted effort to
Well,
keep everybody
the,
safe.
the
Period.
challenge is,
That's what
Miles,
it's
you're
about.
thinking very logical, and that's
I was going to say
I appreciate your logic, but you got to think about. I look at New
makes too much
Orleans, right?
sense.
Look at New Orleans, and the reason I say look at New Orleans is what the right wing does is they take catastrophes and uses an opportunity to do something that they've always planned on doing. The reason I say look at New Orleans is because New Orleans is one of the few school systems in the entire country that is full on charter/private. Like there are no public schools in the city of New Orleans, right? And they
Mm.
used Hurricane Katrina as the excuse to do it,
When
right?
did
And
that
so
when did that happen, Dwight? Please enlighten me.
So 2005, you remember Hurricane Katrina happened,
Absolutely.
right? So you have the existence of the public school system was almost 100% black people using the public schools.
Right.
So when they
Okay, so you have Saint Aug,
well,
you had
remember St. Aug's
Carver,
private, St. Aug,
you had John Eric, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You had a lot of high schools, and I'm aware because I went to college with a lot of dudes that
I
went to
got
those.
you.
Gremlins.
Yeah, but then they used it as an opportunity to charterize the whole thing, meaning that they now can pick and
Privatized.
choose which children go where, who gets access to certain things. And so they were able to do it. They were able to use emergency statutory language in state law to basically, the state took over the school system, the state and turned over that school system to private, charter school companies. And basically that is what it is. So Ron DeSantis has from his onset wanted to dismantle the public school system. And it's not just him, right? Rick Scott's tried to do it. You know, uh, previous governors like Jeb Bush have all tried to incrementally eat away. Whether it is destroying the teachers' unions or going after saying that if you don't have 50% of the employees under the union, then you can't have a union. Then they tried to make a situation where teachers were competing against each other based on their SAT scores, whether or not you got a bonus or not. Like these little things that that have been done over the last 20 years are intentional, right? So when Ron DeSantis tries to do something like this, let's be clear what he's trying to do. He's basically telling folks that, we don't know what's going to happen in the public space. He's not telling you, oh yeah, by the way, my kids go to a private school. He's not telling you that the charter schools that are running the state of Florida get to make their own decision on mask mandates because they have a different system of control. He
Right.
only uses the moment to exploit the public school boards and the public school system, because now you got a situation where parents are like, in order to keep my child safe, I got to make a decision on, do I take this voucher that the state's going to give me and take them to a school that requires masks, or do I keep him in a public school where the mask is optional? And he just gets to sit back and be like, I did that. So what the ruling was today was that when a school board says, we want to put a mask mandate in, we're allowed to do that. We're allowed to govern ourselves. We're allowed to keep our kids safe. And so this was a pushback against a longer term strategy that right-wing folks, governors like Ron DeSantis, have been trying to do for, feels like, forever. So this, it's methodical, brother. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a one-off type of deal.
If I may, can I ask a follow-up question, Mrs. Mockins?
Really, you're asking me? Sure, Miles.
First of all, that was supreme enlightening information, because I did not know that about New Orleans. I did not know that. So then my follow-up question to your explanation would be, do you foresee a situation where that might be likely here in Dade County or any other South Florida county where the public school system is completely dismantled and privatized?
It can happen, right? I mean, right now, the difference between us and other states is our school boards are governed by a particular charter, right? Like they are constitutional officers that are elected. But there's always ways to go about it. So a couple years back, there was a study done that the Koch brothers were investing in school board races because they wanted to elect school board members who would then do exactly that, right? Like give away the farm over and over again. Like currently under state law, like if a charter school wants to buy school property, they are basically the first group that you have to offer it to if your school's not being utilized. So that's why the Dade County public school system, even when there's a school that closes down, they basically turn it into an office building, because if they do not use it for some sort of educational means, a charter school can just come in and swoop in and purchase the whole building. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the laws that have been put in place. So that's what I'm saying. Like every step of the way, there are these things that have been put in place that are catches to create a privatization. So the short answer to your question is it's possible, but you really have to be diligent about protecting the nature of public schools in this country. But it's one catastrophe away. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? If we get a strong enough hurricane or an unfortunate scenario, someone will use that catastrophe as a means to exploit. And if you think about the smaller districts, like in North Florida, it's very possible. Like when you only got 5 or 6 schools in your district, that could happen in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I've always felt like this was. I was talking to my wife the other night about this is really a divide, right? And but it's also a middle to lower class problem. And while the middle to lower class spend time focusing on masks and mandates and this and that, blah blah. The wealthy are not. They're not thinking about stuff that that the middle and lower class are talking about. They're sitting back and their kids are doing other things while they're steering the rest of the world to do what they're telling them what to do.
I think ultimately, I think socioeconomics always comes into play when we talk about these discussions because, like you said, it's a conquer and divide mentality in which the rich are using another avenue to get richer and then to perpetuate then the financial oppression upon the lower class and working class Americans, so that basically you have no choice in a sense. Because you didn't exercise, you don't have the financial resources to kind of fight them in that arena. So I think that point is very well valid.
Yeah. For folks like us, to me, it's also an incentive too, right? It's an incentive to want to, if you're not there.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I think that and Senator Bullard has incessantly beat this message into our head about voting, exercising your voting rights, regardless of who you're voting for, and you shouldn't be castigated for whatever aisle you sit on. You
don't get me drunk on water.
It should be wherever you are, whether you're on the Republican side, the Democratic side, the independent side, just the simple fact that you're exercising your power and participating, there's power in that. And I think that, the change that you've seen over the past 5-10 years is just, it's the direct result and indicative of us reclaiming and then exercising that power in several capacities, not just on the school board, not just in national elections, but more importantly in our local governments. Yes, our local governments, because at the end of the day, that's really where the rubber meets the road.
Yep. That's the problem.
And that's where you're going to see, that's where you can affect change and really see the tangible results of difference when you actually cast your vote.
100%.
Well, I'm curious though. You can enlighten me on this. I've always felt that
you couldn't hear me.
Right,
no,
I just weren't paying attention to it.
It's important that we vote, but what happens when you vote and you realize that you don't control that vote? Like the wealthy people at the top control that vote. Because I hear all the time that we got to vote, and there's always something that's stopping us from either voting or getting what we're trying to get to when you're trying to do the right thing.
I think
let's come back to that. And what I was trying to say was there's some audio issues. I'm getting some texts and direct messages about audio. I want Basil to fix that. Let's watch this clip, something that's just floating around social media. We'll address this clip, but then we'll come back to have this conversation about the wealthy, about how they continue to, in Roy's answer, empower. But I believe Senator Bullard has a counter to that. So let's check this out. We'll come back. Okay.
Status, $8 million and I can't go back. Got a lot of jewelry on me, can't hold that. 12 asking better, telling that I ain't so crack. Know your money long when your people can't fold that. I'm ballin', yeah. My mama told me that do my calling. I keep that stick, I don't do no brawling. Up and out the doors and let them all in here. Yeah, they all in here. Ooh, big dog. They come out the pants, so we do it.
He tried to step over.
No, that is death.
I knew it.
I don't even understand
I knew it.
The hood Olympics.
They call it the hood Olympics. I don't understand why people are doing this.
But it ain't just us, though. It ain't just us.
Because people ain't got nothing better else.
What happened to the clips what happened to the clips of people made it?
Yeah, there are some people who have made it.
we can't drive home that.
Right.
We can't get room for that.
Right. We don't want to see it naked. Kendrick.
All we want to see is the ignorance. Okay,
But
black
I
people.
saw
Okay, I got it.
where somebody broke their knees because he fell directly on the concrete from the top, and he broke his knees. And I guess because of like the shock, he tried to stand up, and then his knees like popped in the other direction. Yes. Yes, and they had to, and then the next clip you
if
saw
y'all
the
out there dumb enough to do it, just when you get to the hospital, tell them you got COVID because our insurance ain't covering.
They don't cover it, right.
Lord,
that part,
the insurance ain't covering.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
tell me you got COVID, folks, please.
Hey man, real talk.
Yes, the concrete.
Whatever it takes for us to stop shooting each other, I'm fine with, man. So we gonna come together on the great challenge.
I mean,
but did y'all see the girls with the heels on?
Now that's
you didn't see that one.
I didn't see it.
That's
the girls with the heels on were making it.
I did see that one.
They were making it. They were ones that were making it.
There was one today.
That's a good question, Belinda.
Sisters actually did it at the same time. Got to
crossed
the pinnacle,
over.
Yeah, and crossed over each other and came down, and neither one of them fell.
Did they have heels?
And it wasn't Simone Biles. It wasn't Simone Biles. It wasn't Simone Biles.
Yeah, I got a theory on Belinda's question around how all these crates getting collected. Right? So, what I've concluded in my basic study.
HBCUs are doing
no basic study.
My basic study is that every hood got a lot of crates, right? So if you do the math on the crate challenge,
ain't no crates in the Heights, though.
Right? Use a lie, and that's
where.
All you gotta do is go in the back.
Go behind the window. Ain't nothing hood about the Heights. Ain't
no Winn-Dixie. Ain't no Winn-Dixie.
Go to the back of CVS.
Nothing hood about the Heights.
There was definitely plenty of crates.
Back in the day.
Every hood got crates.
Stop it,
Every black person in the hood got at least one crate. So collectively, to your point, Miles, when we come together, everybody,
right, Dwight, that's good.
Be real, right?
Come together.
Listen, we are 2 degrees of separation from somebody who got crate in their house.
Because I think we got about 1 or 2 in the garage.
And I'm being generous with 2. You probably got a crate in your house right now.
I got 4.
But
all right, we on our way. That's it.
If we accumulated all the crates and all the my 2 cents, folks, we probably have enough crates for a crate challenge.
I'm grateful.
But we're not going to do it.
Those crates.
But Belinda, you funny. I'm grateful.
Nothing ghetto happens in Richmond Heights.
Belinda on the road today.
Richmond Heights isn't hood. Richmond Heights is nothing hood about Richmond Heights whatsoever.
But we are a black community. I'm saying it doesn't necessarily have to be a hood community.
Right. We are.
Sir, I'm gonna stop you right
changing.
there because I got homies that have died on the streets in the Heights. So
it ain't hood. It ain't nothing ghetto or hood about Richmond Heights.
That's
hood adjacent
precisely
though, as
right. That's it.
Listen,
That's
wait a
hilarious.
minute. So
hood is not a building.
Adjacent.
Hood is a mentality.
Adjacent.
Hood is not a building. Hood is not a project. Hood
like
is
we got hood
mentality,
elements,
dog.
Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like we got a candy lady.
That ain't hood. A hood is
lady.
You got an ice cream man.
First of all, what is a hood? Hood
It's
is short
short
for
for
what?
neighborhood.
Exactly. My
it's a
whole
mentality.
point. It's
No, it's a
neighborhoods
mentality.
everywhere.
It's
No,
a
ghetto
mentality.
is a mentality.
It's a
Not
mentality.
hood.
Of course
It's
it is.
ghetto is a mentality.
No. That's just
Poppy.
that's
What you
just
drinking cognac?
exacerbating
Poppy,
your
Tomato,
hood.
you on fire?
tomato.
Tell him cognac.
No,
That's
Miles.
just
Okay.
exacerbating your
No.
hood.
Are we
No.
arguing about ghetto?
Man,
That we arguing about?
good stuff
Look,
takes
I think
place
I
in
have
life.
to
you know what
say
this sounds about like?
I believe that
remember when I
ghetto
went
is
to,
a mentality.
when I went off the
Ghetto
college,
is a mentality. Hood
and
is a
these
mentality.
people was
Hood
trying
is
to
a
act like
neighborhood.
they
Of
were
course,
ghetto.
of
and
course,
they
you
were
gotta
ghetto.
say something. Eat up.
That's right, Belinda. Punk
Oh,
man
y'all
and the corner on the cob man.
Exactly. You know.
Can y'all hear me?
Hood.
Yeah.
And the girl who do the drinks, friend.
Right.
Oh.
Hey, Miles.
I'm sorry,
Miles.
Jay. Go ahead.
Miles.
You were saying something, Jessica.
I was
The
saying a
Pilgrims
lot,
got a
but I
hood
just
too.
feel
She's
like y'all can't
speaking.
hear me.
She's speaking.
What's his name? Basil, you're gonna have to get this microphone straight over here.
Reclaim your time, Jessica. Go ahead.
This is all I was gonna say. This conversation just reminds me of when I went off to college. Ebony, you gotta lean up like that to hear me.
No. It was
okay.
something on the middle.
It's something on my 2 cents.
Yeah,
It's red.
that's what I was
It look and it's crawling across.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I
okay.
was like, we
It's not coming
bloody?
to get you. It's
Right.
not coming to get you. Let me finish my story though.
Go ahead. My
It
bad.
reminded me of when I went to college, and then you had locals who were from that community
Mhm.
that would then come to college, and then there were other people from other cities that would go to school, and they'll be like, "Oh, they are ghetto, they are hood," and I'm like, "There's nothing about anybody who's paying to go to college that is you're not gonna scare me talking about you are ghetto and hood." And you're in here like really trying to get an education. That's what this conversation is reminding me of.
Miles, you wanna rebuttal that, Miles?
No, I'm not.
He always got
not.
a
Okay. Okay.
Man, we've had
You
this
know what I'm
conversation
talking about,
before.
Miles. You know what I'm talking about.
Miles is being quiet
What
because
I'm
we've
gonna
had this
say,
conversation before.
Dwight. Dwight went to fam. I went to Grambling. Yeah, it was some hood niggas getting an education and paying, and I'm not going. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that experience.
I love you, Miles.
Exclusive,
It might have just been bad.
to Ms.
But
Modkins and what transpired at
No.
North Carolina A&T.
No,
I know at Grambling, you ain't even got to tell me a fam because I've been there several times.
no,
You already know. You already know.
no.
Yes.
Shout out to the South Side.
Dwight is hilarious.
No.
Shout out to Drew Hall, which is no longer there, but shout out
There
to
you
Drew
go.
Hall.
You know what I'm saying?
One time.
One time for Leola's Crab Shack, Tallahassee. Yeah, where we at? You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Shout out to them boys at Patty Foot. Shout out.
Hey, Patty Foot, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Just demolish it. You know what I'm
They
saying?
sure did tear it down.
It needed to come down.
One
long
of
time ago.
the dorms in at fam.
That's like one of
Everybody
the
know about
most
Patty Foot.
notorious dorms at fam.
Yes.
Look at this.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, why did we even pull up that camera?
He always
you know why that's
does
the case,
We're
Roy?
finally absent of Hamptonians, and
How
yet
do
we
we
still
get
got
here?
That's
I've been
because-
always.
Hey, that's
How did we
because-
get here?
But
Well,
look,
I'm just gonna let y'all know at the great USF, we didn't have none of these problems. Okay.
I bet.
Roy, if
bet.
you don't get
bet
off
y'all
that
did.
broadcast, first of all, Roy, half the people think you went to University of South Florida. You might as well tell them you went to University of
That is true.
San
But look, we had the
Francisco.
same
That is-
colors too, and it said USF. They was green and gold, so that's very true. But I did have an apple on top of my desk. Okay.
what that mean? What
And
is
a
that?
rainbow campus at this point, Roy. That is congratulations.
Look at Belinda. Somebody say Hampton.
Right.
You.
Right.
You said Hampton.
Right. You said
That's who said it.
I am
You did.
Oh,
I don't
Belinda.
know what that means. What does the apple mean? I don't understand.
Look,
You better
Belinda,
watch it, Belinda.
they gave
You better watch it,
you
Belinda.
Belinda said poor Roy.
took care of you, Roy.
Ask who your husband is working for, Belinda.
Ooh.
Poor Roy.
All right, the end, the crate house. Look, did y'all see Rick?
Oh no.
Them man crates, those is boxes. I love Rick Ross.
They are.
Of what?
Of his
Element.
champagne. Of his
At Bel Air?
champagne.
Okay.
Bel
Bel
Air?
Air.
Oh yes. You
The
better
girl
do
said, "Come by this Bel Air." You know what I'm saying?
right.
I
She
love
said,
that.
"Let me
baby.
go ahead and get in on this, get my marketing
Yeah,
on."
I was just about
Smart.
to
Did
say
he
that.
make it
That's a
over?
marketing
Go get some
strategy.
fast
You better
stop.
do it.
Did he make it
He ain't
over?
wrong.
Girl, I
He
think
didn't
that
go
was
over.
all in the picture
Nah,
that they
he.
took. They took that
Oh.
picture and probably hashtag it. I don't
That's
know.
smart. That's brilliant.
Hey
Yeah.
man, hey, that brother, that brother doesn't get enough credit for his business acumen and for what he's done in the community financially and just to increase his overall net worth and his wealth from the wing stops to the
Yeah,
property,
lemon pepper.
Lemon pepper.
to his property,
Mm.
to his property portfolio and
My
investments,
favorite.
to the liquor investments. He doesn't get enough credit. A lot of people don't even realize just how wealthy Rose
Do you
is.
Quietly.
know
Real
it has a
talk.
medical app, an app that you can download
Rose.
with the doctor? That you go to the doctor from your phone.
That's
Yeah.
it. Shout out to William Roberts, aka.
William Roberts.
Shut up, Dwight.
Hey, he needs to come on the
Carol
show.
City's
Love to have
finest.
you.
Yes, we would love to have you.
Yeah, somebody know Rose. Tell him to come
Rose.
on too.
Carol City's finest.
Come through.
Mm-hmm.
Come through.
Mm.
Come
Gotta
Girl,
hold him up.
Cartel, Triple C.
Look, what was I getting ready to say? God.
My friend is from Miami. Do y'all know that?
Oh,
Yeah.
She is.
but
She's from
I
Miami.
want to come back
She
not
hood.
next week, the week after that, to tell everybody how to welcome to the 305 concert was, because he's gonna be performing
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday. Is that Friday or is that Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Listen, it's gonna be all weekend. It's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a whole movie. All
It's
gonna be a
only a
problem?
whole
It's gonna be
movie
a
because
problem,
it's my
Dwight?
birthday weekend.
That's right.
Has nothing to do with FAMU. It's my birthday weekend.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah.
That's right, friend.
Yes.
Look, before we change topics,
Dwight, don't highlight
Lloyd
it.
had a position on voting, and Senator Bullard, I know that you had a comment to make about that, and then I also had something to say about
Hey, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie.
Hey.
You
I was just saying that we've never, like, we always overlook collective power, right? Or even the perception of collective power. And what I would, to counter what kind of Roy was talking about,
It was a question, though. It was a question. It was a question.
Well, I mean, I'm just simply saying, like, the threat of Black people voting is what got us. The Voting Rights Act is what got us the Civil Rights Act of '64.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at this past election, it literally broke records, right, in terms of turnout. And so, what was the immediate response? How do we limit Black people's voting? So, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, there were 520, no, 500, I believe the last count was 529 bills filed to suppress the vote just off the strength of this past election.
Wow.
So let's not discount
The fear
the
is real.
collective power of people voting and what happens, because that is the biggest fear of the wealthy, is like the collective power of folks to reshape the whole thing. Because if like good, bad, or indifferent, if everybody decided who was eligible to vote voted, it would be counterproductive to all the things that all these rich folks want. We could then get free health care and student loans, student loan forgiveness and all these other things that we've talked about. Like,
Absolutely. I would say, Dwight, because at the end of the day, if you just look at it from a simple numerical perspective, there's far more have-nots than there are haves. Far more have-nots than there are haves. So if all the have-nots decided to collectively support a cause, it's over for them. Period. Just
For
like
real.
how it happened in Georgia. That's Sister Stacey
Yeah.
Abrams went to war, flipped the whole state, turned it blue since the first time since 1976.
like, let's talk about how scared Georgia is real quick, because normally what Georgia's been used to is if a Black man got elected statewide in Georgia, they'd immediately come out with an old white dude to counter that and be like, we'll get it back. They rolled out Herschel Walker to try and run against Reverend Warnock because
literally run.
that is the fear factor of Black Power, is the idea that you dust off a Heisman Trophy winner who went to the University of Georgia and be like, he's the only person we can only, like, you gotta understand, like, to counter a black man statewide with another black man means that white folks are like, oh snap, we got a problem.
We're desperate.
Right.
We're desperate.
Yeah, especially when it's
Right.
Walker.
My
Right.
last thought on
Not white folks,
Governor
pilgrims.
DeSantis was that I felt like it just backfired on him.
You made me want to eat oatmeal, boy. Oh, you made me want to eat some oatmeal.
What happened? Oh,
I don't know. Like they're having a conversation while I'm talking.
we're not even
I'm sorry, Jess. I'm sorry.
We don't even know what's going on.
He said pilgrims, and I said, man, you made me want to eat oatmeal.
Oh, okay.
Not white people,
Look,
pilgrims.
we was like, what happened?
I'm listening, Miss Markins. Go ahead.
Y'all don't want me to say this about DeSantis. I'm not gonna get in my feelings. I feel like somebody needs to hear this. He thought that he was going to run for president and he was going to be disruptive and be able to be on a national platform and elevate his brand. And instead, he got over 70,000 people to sign a recall, which can't happen, to recall him as governor, because legally that doesn't happen in the state of Florida. But it showed that if you cannot even have your own state back,
exactly, yeah,
the Republican Party would think twice about allowing someone like him to get on their platform and run. That was what I wanted to say. And Senator Bullard, what do you think about that?
He's selling products.
I mean, that's the facts, right? It's like he tried everything, and everything was going well for him. You know, passing all these bad laws, doing all these terrible things. And this is the point. This is the point where people are like, this is too much. You're literally trying to sacrifice children's lives.
Right.
And that's a bridge too far. Right? And so, and it really took people to be like you really have to take a step back and be like, yo, is this dude actually out here risking children's lives?
Yeah, he is.
It's not only children, it's their parents, it's everybody else involved.
Yeah,
right.
Teachers.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that the children, the children is what hits home for people. You know what I'm saying? That hits
that works better than adults.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That hits you to your core. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody mess with the children, because we think the children are innocent. The children, they depend on us. So if we gonna do our part, you know what I'm saying, to protect them. And it's coming from the higher ups. Yeah, like Dwight said, that's the problem. That's the problem for many people, and that's a huge bipartisan problem. You know what I'm saying? People don't care at that point. People don't care about Republican or Democratic. They looking at this is my child. You know what I'm saying?
Bipartisan problem. Did you all see Sha'Carri?
Hey,
I didn't watch it. I didn't want to watch it because I'm done. I'm done with her in that whole situation. My thing is, she just need to go out there and perform. Like, people just need to leave that whole situation alone and just let her perform.
Well, what are you specifically talking about? The fact that she came in last? Oh no, she didn't come in last.
She did come in last.
She came in last.
No, I'm going to quote her that she's the 6th fastest woman in the world.
She might be, but she came in last that day.
I mean, she can have that. And the sad thing is, she's getting more publicity than the person who won the race.
Right.
How does that work?
We are in the United States, and you should pull for the person from the United States. So if we are going to talk about somebody,
no.
Honestly, about the people from
I'm pulling for everybody black. That's what I'm doing.
Well, you was going from 1 to 8 then. Everybody in the race was black.
We wanted everybody to win.
1 to 9.
Well, here's the thing: scrutiny sells. But the problem that I have with her is not here. It's not about her coming in last place, right? It's really about what she said after the race.
Okay, and with that, let's listen to what she said. That's why I was asking Cognac Poppy. I wanted to find out from him, was his problem with her place in the race or with her comments after, because we can't always win, right? But let's
you're right.
let's watch.
I'm done with her. Period.
Okay, Kanye, but can we play her? Can
Yes.
I play?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Basil.
Versus what we saw in Tokyo. Meantime, Sha'Carri Richardson finishing 9th in the race, and she's with Lewis Johnson.
Well, Sha'Carri, what was your expectation as you came out here today to face these ladies from the Olympic Games?
Coming out today, it was a great return back to the sport. I wanted to be able to come in before, having a month off, dealing with all I was dealing with. I'm not upset at myself at all. This is one race. I'm not done. You know what I'm capable of. Count me out if you want to. Talk all the shit you want, because I'm here to stay. I'm not done. I'm the 6th fastest woman in this game ever. And can't nobody ever take that from me. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the people that won, but they're not done seeing me yet. Period.
All right. Thank you, Sha'Carri.
You see them walk by there, it's like, what are she talking about?
I love her still
her
hyping herself up. Yes, I was going to say, I love her still hyping herself up. Like, she like, I don't care what you're going to say. Let me get ahead of you, because you already going to talk trash. I don't care.
We've never seen that. We've never seen that in track. We never seen that in track. We do see that, however, in the boxing industry. I think those comments were more applicable to that industry. Track, it kind of hits a little off. It's a little off.
Yeah, I think that comment came from more than just that race. That was a comment from
Miles.
All of the stuff that she had gone through ever since that issue. Everybody been talking mess about her, good and bad. They've been talking about her. So whatever.
She got so much love.
I'm saying, listen, everybody wasn't for her. Everybody was not.
After the Olympics, they weren't for her. They weren't rooting for her.
Everybody was not for her after the scandal with the marijuana. I mean, we were, but everybody was not.
She didn't stand a chance in that race.
Listen, we were not against her, but everybody was not for her. Was not for her. So she got a lot of backlash about, why would you do that? You know, you got to. Y'all know this. We talked about this. You know you got a race. Why would you do that? Roy, you said that. Why would you do that? You know you got a race. You know what your responsibilities are. You know what you can and you can't do. Yeah. Everybody talk mess about her. So that was coming from a long term of whatever had happened to her. And she lost the race and she's still trying to save face. Like, all right, I messed up. So whatever, y'all can talk trash. I'm still going to be here. I'm coming back next time. I'm racing, whatever. Yeah. I understand. I applaud her.
I agree with you, friend, because I think that it's a part of her defense mechanism.
It was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you
still, though. I said I didn't think that she had to be defensive. I didn't see it that way. But now that I'm looking at it through your eye, and maybe she's young, maybe she probably felt like she had to defend herself.
Yeah, but you're a competitor, right? You here's the thing.
As an athlete, I didn't see that.
I don't think here's the thing. There's people against her, right? There's people against her. But the reality is, I think there was more people for her than against her. I've never seen somebody get busted for drugs and then get a deal out of it. You're everywhere. You're plastered everywhere. I think she owed it to the sport. I think she owed it to the people to be better. And it just showed to me that she wasn't mature. You were immature when you got busted with drugs.
But
wait, hold on. Let me finish. You come in 10th place in the race. Who cares about that? But you're not mature when you come to the mic.
I do, Roy.
But even in that, what I was going to say, even in that, with everybody riding her back and thinking that she's going to come back and just blow everybody out the water, I think there was a sense of embarrassment there where I have to kind of defend myself and kind of like pump myself up even in my embarrassment of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot. That was another situation of hers that had a lot of emotion, a lot of things that she had to deal with at one split second with somebody at a camera.
Doesn't mean it's acceptable, TT. Every athlete goes through that. Every athlete has a drug test.
I didn't say it was acceptable.
Wins and loses.
But that's what. that Jessica brought up last time. The media accountability piece is this. She came in ninth. Where
Why are you talking
in
to her?
any sport is the
Y'all
last
talk to
person
the ninth
ever
person.
interviewed, right?
Because she's everywhere, TT.
I get
But
it.
that's but
She's
doesn't
a name,
matter.
that doesn't. You
but the
don't need
media
to talk
stuck
to
the camera
her.
in her face.
It does matter. It does matter. Like Jessica said, we in America. It
It doesn't.
matters.
That doesn't matter.
Well, guess
That
what?
doesn't
have to talk to her.
It does matter.
It doesn't.
Going into
Never got
the
in
But
there.
look,
Olympics, she was
but
the
look,
biggest
but
thing
she
on the
wasn't
stage.
the first American to cross the line. They could have
There's an
talked to
American
the
who came
first
in
one.
fourth.
You're right, but she was the biggest thing. She was the biggest thing going into the Olympics. So
Right.
that's why they
They
wanted to talk
focus
to
so
her.
much on her. I would be mad if I was
Right,
the fourth
boy.
person that came in.
Yes.
Like I came in fourth.
I agree.
But here's the
I
thing.
agree.
Listen, Roy.
I agree.
First of all,
Yes, she needs help. She needs
She
help.
does need hip rock star, yes.
First of all, you can't come in last. That's A. I'm just
Right.
You can't come in last. That's A.
But Miles, real quick, Miles. Go ahead.
You can't come in last. Like you can't come in last. Secondly, if you do, you need to humble yourself and speak a lot more with a lot more humility and a lot more contrition, and just say, listen, I didn't have it today. Congratulations to the ladies that won. I got work to do. And that's the end of that.
Agree.
That's the end of that.
I agree.
I agree with that too.
That's
However, I agree with that too.
Like,
However, if
that's
you don't
that-
have nobody telling you what to do, and you young like that, and this girl don't have nobody telling her what to do.
I mean, Roy,
Yeah.
Roy, to put that in basketball
on top
terms,
of
Roy,
everything else that she's gone
She got a
through,
whole
like
bunch
you
going
said.
on. She need a real
Right.
good
Everybody
team.
goes through something. We all, every athlete.
That's fine, and
offensive
everybody
performer
does not
goes through
handle
something.
everything correctly either, Roy. It don't matter.
Yeah,
They
but
don't
here's the
ca-
thing.
they don't-
Here's the
I
thing.
completely
It's part of
agree
the
with
sport.
the wife.
Whether
Y'all
the media
shouldn't have
is
been
right or
crossing the line in
wrong,
the
it's
first
still
place.
part of the sport.
Yes.
So here's the thing. You won and blew everybody away in the trials. You failed the drug test. It was big story. So guess what happens when the media wants the big story? So you come in last. That's a big story. So guess what? Now the mic is in your face. But it's no excuse. It's no excuse for you not to handle it the way you handled it. So I think with her, whether she's going through an issue, whether she's mature or not, you could have just been like, hey, you know what? No comment. Instead, you decided to be like, yo.
Well, she still don't know if she. She still don't feel like she can.
Saying you're
do that.
making the assumption that she knows. What do we always say? The old
You don't
cliche,
know
when
that.
you know
whether
better,
we know it or
you
not,
do
guess
better.
what? It's
But if
going to
she doesn't
backfire. That's
know,
all I'm saying. It's going to backfire.
But we do need to pull up the old Kevin Garnett
Experience is
because
the
you brought
best
up
teacher.
basketball. If you remember in the Kevin Garnett interview, he said his rookie season playing with Isaiah Ryder, he started talking junk to Jordan.
Michael Jordan. I remember that.
And he was like,
He
was
did.
coming
He
down.
did.
He's like,
He did.
oh, we got him against the blocks. We about the dog. And Michael Jordan normally does. He's like, and I took offense towards that, right?
Yeah.
But that's his history,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Michael Jordan dropped 50 on him, had him
Right.
exhausted.
But you know what? Guess what? Kevin
But it's
Garnett
different.
learned
It's
from
a-
it. He learned from it that season.
That's
He
what I
learned
just
from
said.
it.
And you know what he
Experience
learned?
But
What
here's
it
the other
is.
thing that I do
You
know.
know
She
what
also was supposed
he
to.
learned, Roy? Roy, you know what he said he learned? Don't talk crap to Michael Jordan.
To Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
but he still
But
would
my-
talk trash.
Yes, he
But
did.
my question is, who on this panel thought she would come in the top 3?
I definitely did.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
why-
I'm sure.
okay.
I'm sure she
Let
thought
me-
she was gonna
let
come
me-
in the top 3.
No, not her.
Who?
I'm pretty sure she did. But I'm saying, but why would y'all think that though? That's my question.
Because of her last race. Her last race, she
But,
blew
but,
it out.
but think about this.
We had
When she got banned, right? Everybody else went to the Olympics. How many races were they running? Who was she running against when she was
Right.
off?
And that's what
Nobody.
she said. I've been off
You
for a
ain't-
month.
you can't.
So
You're
she had a
not
month to
gonna.
prepare.
She prepared, but she wasn't running against nobody. When you running with somebody side by side, they push you to do what? Go
Yes.
faster.
Yeah,
That was her first race since then. I knew
Well,
for a
are you
fact.
for her or against her? I don't understand.
No. What I'm saying is everybody expected her to win. And my thing was like, but why? There was no reason for the expected her to win.
I mean, if she
You
was
know,
20 years old,
But
she
nobody expected her to be
years.
that.
nah,
Right,
right.
I
mean,
didn't expect her to come in last. I didn't expect her to come top 5 though.
Mark in
I'm
her
not sure.
ability to run 4 weeks. Come on now, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
4
what I
weeks is a long time in track and field.
No, you're
It's a long
talking
time.
about
but it ain't that
having
long.
professional races. Professional races in track and field do not occur 12 months out of the year. There's no way you're going to tell me that you're just going to just be last because you didn't have any professional races within 4 weeks. No, you sat on your butt for 4 weeks.
But that's my whole point.
Right.
That's my whole
Right,
point.
right.
That's my whole point.
You were saying running against people. You weren't saying preparing.
No. But what I'm saying is, when they banned her, you don't think she went and sobbed and grieved and soaked in her tears a little bit?
Of course.
Like we talking about, it's 4 weeks is in a month. She probably grieved for 2 weeks. Then I'm finna go out here and train for 2 weeks, and then I'm finna go out here and run in a week and a half. That ain't gonna work.
Well,
and everybody kept saying, "Oh, Sha'Carri gonna win." How?
If that was her method, it didn't work.
I offer this rebuttal, Miss Mawkins. To be honest with you, I can't really articulate what I expected, but just like to echo Dwight's sentiments, I damn sure ain't expect her to come in last.
No,
that I did
not dead last. Like that was
like she was dead last. Like I was racing them.
Yeah, but everybody she ran against.
TT, and your response would have been better, TT. Your response would have been better.
I'm saying. It is what it is.
Your response would have been better. I just maybe we expected not from a racing standpoint, but I just think
maybe you're right. Maybe our expectations.
That's right, Benita. She needs
exactly. Y'all expectations.
Our expectations. I'm not talking from a race. I'm just talking about from a response. I think her response should have been a little bit more favorable. Even if you had time away and you said it's mental this and you had this and that, you still had time to respond when the mic is in your face to say, "Hey, you know what?"
But you keep saying that.
I don't think
no one was.
So wait, but how can you say that? But then also,
let's take it here. I don't think that girl is mature enough. I don't think she's had enough support and nurturing and molding to know how to act outside of whatever it is that's going on. Whenever there's some controversy, I don't think that she knows. Exactly. She doesn't know how to do it. She's giving you the raw She's giving raw emotions. Somebody has to teach her to do better.
That's my comment. That's it. Because my issue is the amount of time is not going to make a difference.
It was only a month.
During that time nobody is preparing you, the time is not going to make a difference.
It don't matter.
First
of all, she needs
taking responsibility for yourself, Ebony. If the situation happened to you, do you really think that you would have responded that way?
Of course not. But that's because we're two different people, and I know. And at that age, I knew.
That's right.
How to, you know what I'm saying, respond to something like that. But my experience, my life experiences, my home life, all of that stuff is different from hers.
No, but let me add to this. This is your job. How many people on this panel take their job serious?
But how about this? That don't matter.
It does matter.
No, it does not.
It does. It's her job.
It does not matter.
And here's the thing.
Is it her job or not?
It does. You got to think about it. She's been running track for a very long time, so she should know. And if you've been winning.
People are ignorant and they will act ignorant, and it doesn't matter if it's their job or not.
Jess is talking. Jess is talking.
I'm speaking.
This is her job, and at 20-something,
it doesn't matter.
Okay, did everybody who just need to say it doesn't matter?
Jay, everybody heard you say it's her job.
I'm not.
I mean, seriously. It doesn't matter. I've been on work with people. Ebony been there too with people that.
But here's the thing. You guys are acting like this is her first race. This ain't her first race. She been doing it.
I don't care. People be ignorant. It doesn't matter.
You have had the platform for a while talking about her, giving her psychology advice and what she needs to do. May I please speak and not be interrupted?
Wasn't talking.
What I am trying to say is when you have a job and you take it serious, I don't care if you 18, 19, 14, 44. There are some things that you do that ensure that you keep your job. Period. As she said, period.
Right.
That's it.
Belinda.
Go ahead, Miles.
I think that what she wasn't prepared for.
No, Peter, we're arguing because you're not here. Okay, that's it.
I think what she wasn't prepared for, and I think one of the overall dynamics that we really fail into to really emphasize in this entire equation was the fact that I don't think she anticipated coming in last. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think that is really what that's where the lack of preparation.
Her mama died.
Her mama died. Okay.
Yeah, that's where the lack of preparation.
It was what
really was exacerbated with the situation because she was not prepared to answer any questions about her coming in dead last because
exactly.
I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like Roy, you muted, Roy. Like so, like that's the part when we say about like knowing better and doing better, and I get all that, and TT, I do.
Who's the new guy?
I can appreciate the point because I think it's a valid one, but at the end of the day, that's the factor that I really think tipped the scale to where it was like she went to that point of no return because she wasn't even prepared to come.
She wasn't prepared for that stuff. None of this stuff that's been happening to her has she been prepared for.
Okay, is she gonna be prepared next time?
Well, I heard she
will learn from her situations, like everybody learns from their situations that they live through. Yeah, she'll learn.
And hopefully she has a team. Hopefully somebody will, because it's LSU, right?
No. She's not in college anymore.
I thought she went to Southern.
She works for Nike now. Nike didn't have a PR team for it. No, Nike doesn't have a PR team for
some of the responsibility.
She doesn't have a PR team.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. That's what she needs.
And that's what
she needs help.
She will now.
Y'all act like this is her first race. This ain't her first race.
It's not her first race. That's what I'm saying as well.
Her first race. She been running.
But she ain't never coming dead last though. She ain't never coming dead last.
Have y'all heard her talk before this whole situation with the marijuana? She's never had to have no interview like that on a national level like that.
Yeah, Miles, this is where she is. Okay, right now. This is where she is right now. Okay, and hopefully we can learn. Hopefully she can learn, and the people around her can learn that. Listen, she needs a team, she needs support, and moving forward, hopefully we will see better from her.
I would just like to lift up that we are all coming from a very interesting place of privilege at this moment, because I've known many of you when y'all were 21. And y'all would have answered that question.
Dwight, listen.
Nah, brother.
Ain't even work. Listen.
In a particular circumstance.
That's a low blow.
Nah, brother.
No. In all seriousness, I had to do self-reflection, myself included.
Not at 21.
My first year of teaching,
not what she said.
Confess. My first year of teaching at 23, I was ready to quit my job. Like I was belligerent.
I believe
walking up in my AP's office on some,
it was so different.
I literally walked out the building expecting not to get called back.
Who's
my first year teacher?
I need her to get a life.
So this notion of like known professionalism, I'm like, whatever.
Brandy.
Like
Brandy,
listen,
your own
questionable.
Social media site. I don't
Brandy.
know. That don't even make no sense. We commenting on ourselves.
Right. Brandy Scott.
Look.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I think the other part that we're missing is that, every athlete that she raced against, they all have their own set of issues. They all have been running. They all have to deal with everything that she's dealing with.
Wasn't nobody checking for them, no, Roy. That's the thing.
Dwight.
Look at what Edwina said.
All right,
look at what Edwina said. Mom would have texted you if you had the nerve to act out.
You know,
what I'm
if
saying
you don't
is,
have nobody that's checking you, you gonna do
Miss
whatever.
B
and
would
this
have
what
been
I'm saying
there.
is,
A bunch of yes men.
given the context of the mentality of where she was, right? So Miles brought up a point. She didn't expect to come in last. We're talking about she didn't raise it. We're talking about all these things are a buildup. So what I'm saying is put yourself in a mentally anguishing scenario.
But we're assuming that's how she felt. You guys are assuming that. Y'all don't know that.
A microphone
And
in
y'all
your
acting
face.
like she was perfectly fine.
You know, and expect. So let's say you coming out of a club, fight just happened that you were involved in. Here's the media out front talking about what just happened, and you all of a sudden acting like I'll just be composed because I was raised and I went to the church. You'd be like, some of y'all would have been just like that, right?
Dwight,
If I'm in the what I'm saying is let's put it in context. All I'm saying is put it in real context, in real time, real life.
I will say
considering
this.
all the circumstances.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 people who, at the end of the day, are rooting for her.
Right.
At the end of the day, we are all rooting for her in our own way. Whether we are saying that, girl, you could have done better. You didn't, or like Miles, why did you come in last place? I'm just still not understanding that. Or like Titi and Belinda and Ebony and Bonita, come and sit on the couch in my office and we will talk about it and figure it out. Or Roy, you should have been done that. You should have had media training when you were coming in.
That's right, Mokita. Like no home training.
But listen, right now, if you put on Luke, y'all gonna act like I don't even know what
she said. She said y'all act the fool.
Okay, before we leave, we have got to talk about the fact that Rachel Nichols.
That's Jimmy Butler woman.
That's Jimmy Butler lady.
You got all the Jimmy buckets.
They're probably the best buckets he ever put out.
Entanglements.
Oh, there it is. The word.
Go, Miles. Go, Miles. But you know what, Bonita, she's still getting her money.
Well, what happened with her?
Got her show canceled.
Yep, Ball Greasy.
Belinda Ballgreen. You better stay at Belinda.
Belinda is from Miami, y'all. Belinda be trying to act like she's not from here.
No, she's not. No, she's not. She's from Virginia.
Act like she's not with
She's a
the culture.
Virginian.
She got it.
I said,
She's a Virginian.
your sister-in-law? Nope. I didn't see nothing.
I saw.
Not nothing. I didn't see nothing. But yeah, she got her show canceled.
I mean,
what's the backstory?
Oh, remember we talked about her a few weeks ago? We had comments about Maria Taylor.
Right.
Maria Taylor went ahead and left ESPN and became a correspondent for NBC, covered the Olympics, and did some great media coverage.
Right, for 2.5 times the salary. Don't leave out that part, Mrs. Markins.
There you go, that part. And so
paid.
I didn't even know they were still investigating the situation. That's what I didn't understand.
Yeah. You think this is let me ask, do you think this is like a direct result of what transpired between her and Maria Taylor, or was it just time for them to move in a different direction? Because in all honesty, the jump was okay, and Roy, I'll defer to you. It was okay, but it wasn't that good. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
It was whack. Well, I think it's also here's the thing. You first of all, your conversation was leaked, right?
Yes, Mo.
Your conversation is leaked. It's bad press. We're in the middle of all this whole Black Lives Matter, black versus white, which is bad. Then they find out, you're married. You're supposedly sleeping or slept with Jimmy Butler. It's bad press.
Allegedly, Roy. Allegedly.
Right, but it's still bad press. It's bad press. You've been the sweetheart of every basketball show ESPN has had. You need to disappear.
But she's still under contract, Miles. She's
right.
Her contract is not up, and they're still paying her. So yes, they're still paying her. They even put out a statement that said that we won't disorder the contract unless she comes and asks us that she wants to move to another network. So basically, she's just going to get paid and sit on the couch.
Exactly. She's got the complexion for the protection, baby.
That's what it is. She's a pilgrim.
Ms.
Mrs.
Motkins, when do you know when her contract ends? Did you state that? Did I hear that?
No, I didn't
Not
say
sure.
when.
But did she really do anything wrong though? When you think about it,
Yeah, and then that's another
No.
question.
I think
Did she do
right.
anything
Did she really do anything wrong? I
No,
mean, her conversation was leaked.
If Jeffrey Tubin can come back to CNN, she'll be back too, baby.
I understand. What she said might have been true. She just said it at the wrong time.
You know, Roy, there's a certain thing a mentor that used to tell me that is still relevant to this day, and it's called time and place.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wrong time and the wrong place.
Yes.
The wrong statement.
Exactly.
Always
You make
said.
that statement. You know, Roy, the time when you make those statements is when we're at the Modkins household, and it's five brothers. Nobody has their phone on record, and we're all drinking cognac and sipping cognac and drinking cigars. We're doing that, and your conversation stays in the backyard under the canopy. That's where
at least you think it, because all my neighbors hear everything.
You know what I'm saying, Roy? That's like you gotta have better discretion.
Listen, I like the way you're talking. Like Marv Albert didn't bite somebody who was whipping him with leather on and came back.
He had draws on.
She'll be fine.
It's consensual. All we
She'll
found
be fine.
out was that Marv,
Had her name been
like
Shaniqua Nichols, she would have been fine.
Marv's a freak. That's all we found out. Marv is a freak.
Yeah. Well, you know, Miles. You know, I heard recently say every day you get up, you got a chance and a choice.
Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do.
And that's what she said when she went to Jimmy Butler's room. Is what I'm
Exactly.
My goodness. Okay.
He said, I got a chance and a choice.
We had so many topics
Jimmy
to cover this week. We didn't talk about Kanye West changing his name or him arguing with Drake. Or
he changed his name?
Oh,
Ye.
He put a petition in.
He changed his name. Well, he's put in a petition. Yeah.
To Ye.
To Ye.
Is it Ye?
Yeah. Kanye.
Your mama named him Kanye. I'm gonna call him Kanye.
I know.
Exactly.
Belinda.
Dear
I'm gonna call the boy Kanye, Belinda.
Why?
We had two more good videos. We'll have to save one of those videos and this other good topic for next week. But before we go, this was the first week back in school for a lot of parents and teachers. And as we depart, let's look at before and after. And I've been that parent, so confused, driving in the pickup line as to what happened after you let your child go to school.
I saw this. That's hilarious.
Listen. I got to shout out my sister on this one because my niece came back looking just fine.
She did.
For her first day in kindergarten.
Why did they give that girl a weed ponytail? Why? Why did they give her a weed ponytail?
Listen.
Baby. Oh, baby.
She look like she done fought somebody.
Yeah, like she got in a fight.
Yeah.
Like she put them hands on somebody.
But look, I kept saying I need to beat their mama because you don't take no child to elementary school with a blowout.
Okay, but look, she has braids and what she looked like coming home. TT.
Yeah, she took the weave out. She was like,
And look, baby had her hair fully braided.
She took it out while she was.
They was knocking and bucking at her elementary school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those girls' hairs are natural, and the mama sent them to elementary school where they go out to PE and recess.
Yeah.
With a natural, with a blowout.
But
Don't do that.
Has sent her daughter to school with braids. Braids, and came home and went to school at dismissal to pick her up. I'm sure I've got on FaceTime with you, TT, showing you what she
No, listen, it was in my car that it was discovered. I was like, your mama is gonna kick your butt.
That's what I'm saying.
She was like, what? TT, what? I was like, girl, you did not go to school like that.
No,
like, I'm a little scared.
Like, what happened? TT, I was doing my ponytail again.
And just like you doing it too, TT.
I was like, girl, you're gonna get in trouble. Oh my god.
It's very common. I wasn't the only parent because I thought I was the only parent.
No lashes,
no lashes. No lashes.
Give it another 9 weeks. They'll have last.
Right.
Listen, the teacher's edition. Everybody will be in the bed, Belinda. I mean, Benita. Everybody will be in the bed.
But
everybody was done. This week was hard.
How was your first week teaching in Tennessee? Because I don't know, were you in the area that was affected by the floods or no?
Benita.
I'm talking to Benita.
Oh, I don't.
Benita Applebaum.
Tennessee, isn't it Arkansas?
No, it was Tennessee.
She lives in one city but works like on the edge or something, right?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you're saying that she lives in Arkansas, but she lives in Tennessee, and I was curious as to.
She said
second area.
Excuse us, Benita.
As to if her area where she lived was affected by the flood. Okay. Well, everyone, we got some great stuff to talk about next week because we didn't get into all of the stuff that we had to talk about tonight.
Sending you hugs, Shikari. You're gonna be okay.
Guys.
She is. She's gonna grow. She's good.
Peace.
Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. Say no.